Hello children. Welcome to another edition of Ms. Rosine's Book Talks. This book is a book I finished a couple of weeks ago called The 57th Bus, and it is yet another example of nonfiction. Of the book talks I've done so far, this is probably the most YA, meaning young adult specific book. It's written for teenagers, not necessarily for adults like the other books that I've done book talks on. So this is called The 57 Bus, and it says a true story of two teenagers and the crime that changed their lives. In a nutshell, it's a book that takes place in Oakland, California, not too many years ago. Maybe 2017 it happened. So there was a crime that took place, and the book is basically the narrative that follows both the victim and the perpetrator of the crime. And so the victim of the crime is a teenager named Sasha, who is gender non-conforming or non-binary. And throughout the book, when Sasha's story is told, the pronoun, which is Sasha's preferred pronoun, is they and them. So in terms of reading, it takes a little getting used to get into the rhythm of reading they and them to understand Sasha's story. And the other character, Richard, who is the perpetrator of the crime, is tried as though he's an adult, even though he was only 16 years old at the time the crime took place. And so I'm going to read to you from the very first couple pages of the book, which tell you the pages just tell you the actual crime, so I'm not giving anything away. This is the beginning of the book. By 4:30 in the afternoon, the first mad rush of after-school passengers has come and gone. What's left are stragglers and stay-laters swiping their bus passes as they climb onto the 57 bus and take seats among the coming-home workers, the shoppers and errand-doers, the other students from high schools and middle schools around the city. The bus is loud, but not as loud as sometimes. A few clusters of kids are shouting and laughing, and an older woman at the front keeps talking to the driver. Dark is coming on. Daylight saving time ended yesterday, and now evening rushes into the place where afternoon used to be. Everything is duskier, sleepier, wintrier now. Passengers look at their phones or stare through the scratched and grimy windows at the waning light. Sasha sits near the back. For much of the journey, the teenager has been reading a paperback copy of Anna Karenina for a class in Russian literature. Today, like most days, Sasha wears a t-shirt, a black fleece jacket, a gray cap, and a gauzy white skirt. In the final senior year at a private, small high school, the teenager identifies as agender, neither male nor female. As the bus lumbers through town, Sasha puts down the book and drifts into sleep, skirt draped over the edge of the seat. A few feet away, 3 teenage boys are laughing and joking. One of them, Richard, wears a black hoodie and an orange-billed New York Knicks hat. A 16-year-old in his penultimate junior year at Oakland High School. He's got hazel eyes and a slow, sweet grin. He stands with his back to Sasha, gripping a pole for balance. Sasha sleeps as Richard and his companions goof around, play fighting. Sleeps as Richard's cousin Lloyd bounds up and down the aisle, flirting with a girl at the front. Sleeps as Richard surreptitiously flicks a lighter and touches it to the hem of that gauzy white skirt. Wait. In a moment, Sasha will wake up inside a ball of flame and begin to scream. In a moment, everything will be set in motion. Taken by ambulance to a San Francisco burn unit, Sasha will spend the next 3.5 weeks undergoing multiple operations to treat 2nd and 3rd degree burns running from calf to thigh. Arrested at school the following day, Richard will be charged with 2 felonies, each with a hate crime clause that will add time to his sentence if he is convicted. Citing the severity of the crime, the district attorney, the chief prosecutor of the area, will charge him as an adult, stripping him of the protections normally given to juvenile offenders. Before the week is out, he will be facing the possibility of life imprisonment. But none of this has happened yet. For now, both teenagers are just taking the bus home from school. Surely it's not too late to stop things from going wrong. There must be some way to wake Sasha, divert Richard, get the driver to stop the bus. There must be something you can do. So those are the first few pages of the book. So you know what the crime is now. It's a great read. It kind of goes back and forth between Sasha's story and Richard's story. You can kind of see by the way it's printed, right? A lot of space between the lines. It's a quick read, and even sort of has these cool things that go almost into like poetry format. There's one part where they're doing describing Richard's Facebook posts, almost as a poem, which is it's a very creatively presented piece of nonfiction. So yet again, just trying to convince you all that nonfiction can actually be a really engaging genre, and hopefully, if you can find a book or two that you enjoy, that genre opens up to you. There you go, nonfiction, The 57 Bus. The author is Dashka Slater, and you'll note that even though this takes place in the United States, the way she describes things and her spelling indicates that she herself is clearly British, and it's written in British English. Really what that means is all the OR words are OUR words, which is not a terribly important distinction, but there are a couple other things like referring to the elevator as the lift, that kind of fun stuff. I hope you guys are having a good day. I miss you. Bye.